Hey, welcome to your place for news, sports, entertainment, Fire Optics podcast. Please like, subscribe, hit all the buttons you need to below. You know you want to hear us. You know when to come back, see what we got popping off. I'm Ken Say. Over here we got the homie James.
What's going on, fam?
Daniel, what's good? What's up with you, man?
What's up, everybody? Nothing much. Another day.
Exactly. Rishi, how you feeling, man?
Good. How's everyone doing?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this week, it seems as though we did a little special podcast in the middle of the week last week, and that topic is still on fire as things keep on happening, so we got to put our optics on it. This whole Robinhood situation. So, Rishi, please give us the update on this, on what's going on as of right now, because we just had a conversation, and I had no idea that they had shut down the Reddit page. Well, before I get to Rishi, let's, for those of you who didn't hear before, a brief synopsis. We had a situation where a group of basically citizens decided to aim their funds within a Reddit chat group about, I don't know, almost 1 million strong. And they targeted a company, Gamestop, which had been targeted by hedge funders to be shorted. If you don't know what shorting means, that's when you bid for a company to fall and to not make money, as opposed to betting the long in which they gain money. So long story short, the common man won, made a lot of money, but Robinhood, the website they were doing all these investments, sold out to the man, turned off the bidding, didn't allow you to buy any more of the shares. And on top of that, I think Rishi just told me that their Reddit page where they had come together and decided to do this, following their leader, that in itself is how they are targeting companies and making specific PowerPoints at specific times to try to take over specific companies in the market. And without Reddit, they may not have the ability to do so. So, Rishi, what's going on with this? Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
I won't say. I mean, they probably got other systems. I won't say Reddit is the only way they can go. They can go to other bunch of stuff if they really want.
Back up now, though.
Yeah.
But still, all in all, they're trying to stick it to the little man. You're doing all this shenanigans, thinking about changing the rules and all this and that, just because the common folk got together and decided, hey, if we use our dollar as a collective, we can fight against these fools. And now you see what's happening. The tide is turning against them. So my bad, Rishi, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm saying that the tide is going to turn against them regulatory wise, and people are going to make policy. But the reality is that everyone has adjusted to this new reality. Like now everyone kind of gets it, what happened, the story. And now you don't know who the people are that are taking advantage anymore. Now the hedge funds are trying the same thing. Like, so now it's all a mishmash of just people trying to make alpha or make a return based on the knowledge that they have right now. Which the knowledge they have now includes the knowledge of the past 2 weeks, which kind of explains this whole social media phenomenon with the stock investing. So everyone's just kind of like reevaluating, and they're going to get in on their sides, and this narrative is going to disappear because it's all going to be everyone just attacking the new reality, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. What do you think on it, James?
Man, it's incredible to me. It shows. I think you shared a link about the guy who was talking on Fox News or whatever, and he said something to me that was amazing. That you can change the forecast of the stock market. The common person can. They all get together, and it shows you what you can do if you come together as something. How big of an impact you can have on the infrastructure of America, and it pretty much needs to be done. This needed to happen, because if you don't know, the hedge funds do this every day. They have dinners with these big time people every day to discuss what fund they're going to go and make money.
They all collaborate.
Yeah, they all collaborate. I mean, you have to be naive to think that somebody's just that gifted on knowing what stock is going to go up or down. No, they all get together and they make that stock go up and down, which is bad for the American economy. Shorting the stock is bad for the American economy. I don't want to, I make money shorting stocks is wrong.
Less stock is a fraud.
Yeah, it is fundamentally a bad thing to do because that company could be doing well and you're just driving their profits down. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really a good thing to do. There's no benefit in it really, except for the person who is shorting the stock. You know what I mean? So
Here's an
There's a
interesting.
benefit. There's a benefit to shorting, and that is sometimes they expose companies that are
true.
doing more harm than good to the consumer or the investor.
So here's another.
For some people, Herbalife was that thing back in the day.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
It's all good, man. Here's another perspective on it. On the Joe Budden show, he had a financial analysis on there, a young brother that was spitting good game, and he put out something that made me go, "Ooh, that's not a bad idea." He said, "Now, what if Black people decided that we want to collectively target companies to do the same thing with, but target our companies to drive our value up?" Like, he was like, if you think about it, what's stopping us from doing that? So he's like, yeah, that, like James said, this is a new thing, but it seems like a necessary thing, as you guys just stated, because you got to balance the playing field. How you feel, Daniel?
Well, I do feel what you're saying. Like if they can do that, then we can raise up our own businesses and raise our price up. So that's something that should be getting worked on right now, honestly.
I mean, we should be buying from our own people anyway, and then investing in our own stocks. I mean, honestly, you saw this was a great example of how you cripple the big man.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. You want to see these guys panic, and I said it time and time again. If we just leave them alone and take their source of income away, you will see these companies do what we want them to do, act appropriately, you know. And I've never seen so many billionaires come on TV in the last 2 weeks
Crime
about what's going on and need to be regulatory standards, and it's bullshit because.
Well, I'm sorry. Those regulations was actually, I think Trump actually took those regulations away for the Wall Street business people.
Yes. But that's the game. You see what I'm saying? Is whoever is in charge, who's connected to the most money, is going to write the policy that's going to benefit their team. But they'll kick and scream all day, try to get your votes and say, well, we're here for you. We're here to make America better, here to boost the economy. It's all the same scheme. You see what I'm saying? These hedge funds and these companies that owe all this money, own all these companies and have all this money, are just going to put money towards what's going to make them easier to take advantage of you. And it's unfair, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny to see, even Michael Jordan.
So I'm going to give you so you on a glass half full guy, but here's the glass half empty sort of take on that story. I think that once this happened, the big guys, they've already sort of absorbed that information, and they're dealing with it, and they're figuring out how to take advantage of it again.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna stick to it again.
So like now they have more knowledge as to how to defend themselves against these situations and how to lobby their stuff in DC to prevent this from happening to their detriment. So you've kind of given them a heads up as to what can happen. This was a big eye opener, yeah. And it's under the right administration for things to happen. But don't underestimate the funds and the big guys. They're just going to use it. They'll pretend they're the little guy, you know.
Their ego is going to drive them to spend their money to crush this group. And that's why I always say, especially for Black people, we have to do what I call strategic silence. You know what I mean? We can't be on Reddit talking about what we're going to do, what company we're going to prop up, We just got to do it without them knowing, you know. And that's how these guys are going to lose next time, because they're going to be on Reddit talking about what stock they're going to go, and then these companies going to understand how to play the game, both sides, you know. And so you got to have to be quiet about your moves and keep attacking them until you cripple them.
How do you?
What do you think they did over the last 2 days when they closed that Reddit page down? You don't think they set up some kind of booby trap in there? Straight up. I promise you that, because that's what we do as the school system. The weekend before report cards, they always the normal website that we do everything off of and put in our grades and all that stuff. Before we all hop on there, hop on and wipe it clean, wipe it down, do whatever they have to do over a weekend, and then we get on the following day. So it's shut down for 2 days so they can do whatever they want to do with it. That's what Reddit did. And I guarantee you, Rishi, unfortunately, I think you're right. You can easily get into the pockets of a lot of these people and say, hey, man, here's one, I don't know, not $1 billion, but here's $250 million if you don't let that shit happen again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're right. But one thing that, and Rishi, I don't know if you know how to say this dude's last name. Chimeth, is that his name?
Yeah, Palatipata, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even say. Come Matasa.
No, he's funky, but he's a long name.
But one thing I liked about what he was saying, he kept on reiterating, hey man, I've been in these chat rooms. And what the problem is with these big hedge fund guys is they're underestimating who are in these rooms. These people are actually intelligent. He was like, if you disguised who it was, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the hedge fund guy and this common guy. And more than likely, you would think it was the common guy who had the knowledge and what have you. So, and I didn't think about how, and I don't know if this was, I think Chimeth is the same one who said this, when the market crashed in 2009, you have all these kids, because there's way more of us common people than there are these Richie Rich type. So he's like, yo, all these kids whose families lost their homes, lost this and lost that, and just watch the government bail out their bosses and their CEOs and let your parents just whatever. And now it's revenge. They're back. It's 10 years, 11, 12 years later. Yo, motivation is a hell of a thing, man. Motivation, yeah, the hedge fund dudes will be up at night and they got computers and they got money and they got algorithms, but it's something about revenge and motivation that can do something.
And I'll say this: it's about just to add to your point. It's about what you experience throughout your life. If you experience 88, 89, that crash, and then you experience 92, 93, like the lack of growth, and then you experience the bubble of the internet era, 97 to 99, and you experience 2001, the towers, Enron, and then you experience 08, 09, you just have more information to work with, and it helps you make decisions. But these kids that are growing up now have a lot of information to work with. A lot, and it's all there. And it's free.
You're right. Something like my mentor said, man. He said, you can't expect to keep up with a teenager. He said, because a teenager is driven by some idea of success.
It's a vague idea.
Yeah, a vague idea. He says that's the most dangerous person to go up against, because the more you know, the more you will secure yourself in these boundaries. But your success could be outside those boundaries. Whereas a teenager or a young person, they have no boundaries. They going for it. And that's what these hedge funds are starting to realize, like, yo, you know, we might not be the smartest people in the room anymore.
And they got time.
Yeah.
They got the hedge funders are billionaires, millionaires. You know, you got your mistress, you got your wife, you got your family, you got these planes, you got your like, for real, let's keep it funky. Not all hedge funders, obviously, but with the ones we're talking about who are doing these devious things, shorting companies and crap like that, yeah, I know you hire all these people to take care of that for you, but those people got lives too. Like it seems the motivation just seems to me to be different.
Yeah.
To outwork, like James just said, to keep pushing. Like it's 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, but like there's no limit to because this thing of the stock market, I don't know a lot about it, but one thing I do know is it's limitless in how much information you can collect in order to make your decision. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the outworking you can come into play, because they're privy to not to all the information you have, but they're privy to a whole lot more than we used to have. So, I mean,
I'll give you an example.
I hope it happens at least 10 more times this month.
I do too. I'll give you an example. Last summer, I put my kids on a mission to learn stock market, right? To option trade and everything. I left these jokers alone for like a month. And I went back and said, okay, my bad, guys. I got real busy. But let's get back on our stock lessons. And my daughter, she already had Weeble on her phone, Robinhood on her phone. She had books ordered. She was already doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And I told my wife, man, I said, I wish I would have had what my kids had when I was growing up.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you would have gave me this at 16, 17, dude.
Get them the curse.
At 12.
Get them the curse.
11.
Because you would have been there.
But
I love you. Whatever you would. Instead of saying it out loud, you would have said it on the phone.
Here's the gift with our generation. We got to see both sides.
Yeah.
So
yes, that is true.
The difference.
Get to contextualize it a little bit.
And you get to value not the fact that we didn't have these phones when we were at Lowe's Grove, like on the bus.
It's amazing, man, because they get information like, I go to the actual app and I'll go to Yahoo and I'll go here and they got programs where all that shit just comes to them all at once.
Yeah.
And these kids are so used to absorbing it all at once. A hedge fund guy, like you said, Ken, he don't got that hustle no more. He don't remember what it was like being 20 no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's comfortable.
Yeah, he's
Yep. You stop getting it out the mud.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Get it out the mud.
And I remember exactly in the military, they always say this is a young man's sport, right? And they always tell you military, hey man, this is a young man game, man. And I remember when I was retiring, I gave up my guidearm. And the guy took it, man, and said, yeah, Pops, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And I turned around, I was like, I can't even run with these guys no more, man. But it's just a reality that the younger, the generations are always going to be smarter than the previous generation. Because we always get fed more information. And our parents thought we were geniuses. Like, we birthed the internet. You know what I'm saying? And so, they're in for a world of hurt. I don't think the hedge funds can beat them. Every big giant's going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
So the plane will be a flatter plane in terms of that's what I agree. Just knowledge base. If your knowledge base is there and you can make green, it doesn't matter what.
Yeah. Somebody like me can make money every week on the stock market.
Yeah.
And I ain't even know about their Reddit channel. I know those guys. What pissed me off about the interview was that reporter was like, these guys didn't really do their homework.
That's being very condescending.
Yeah.
I love that interview because he kept on checking them. He was taking that passive aggressive stuff and shoving it right back in his face, like, because he was trying to get away with that passive aggressive, that I'm gonna diss him without really dissing him thing. And Chemith was like, nah, son, I'm not having this. No, you're not gonna get away with that. He was like, no, but that's not what I'm saying. It's like, no, that's what you did when you said, see, and that's like, to me, this dude Chemith, that's my president. That's who I want to be president. All right, for real. Somebody who's out here willing to say what the F they need to say for the common man on national TV. Don't give a darn. Oh, you don't want me back? I don't care. I'm not kowtowing to anybody. I'm a respect who deserves respect, and I'm a diss whoever deserves to be dissed. And I don't even know that much about this dude, but just from seeing 2 interviews alone, I got more respect for him. 99% of all the politicians, because they don't do the same thing. They'll go on national TV and they'll start tap dancing or making excuses or saying, but then again, he's rich enough where he's a billionaire, right? Is this dude a billionaire?
Close, if not, yeah.
Close to it.
Okay.
He got wealth.
So he's got to the level where, I don't really give a damn what you think about me.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And also he came from, so his parents were political refugees.
Mhm.
There you go. There you go. He never forgot.
So he was in Canada and
Wait, is this Slumdog Millionaire we're dealing with right now?
guy, yeah, but he
says
guy, like
he came from where these guys were. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, don't discredit them. I was them. You know.
Wow.
But he grew up under the Canadian welfare system, which is
a lot better than the American welfare system. I know that.
The projects are like the apartments across the street from me right now.
So it means he grew up with a bunch of Jamaicans and stuff.
Like East Indians, Jamaicans, Sri Lankans, Indians, blah, blah.
Yeah, they all, because Russell Peters talks about that all the time, how that's
Brampton.
Black people. Same thing with I'm not gonna say Reese's not cool with white people, but you know what I'm saying. When you come, so a lot of times from me outside looking in, me speaking personally from my experience, when you get thrown into a situation where you're not white or black, and you get thrown into a new school, a new situation, we embrace you. We're gonna mess with you.
That's what happened.
We're gonna throw you in the pool. We're gonna crack jokes, but we're gonna embrace you before they will.
I can speak from experience. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's how I grew up thinking the world was. Based on my experience there with you guys. But this guy, Chama, he's good, man. He's a hard luck story, but he's really smart and he explains things the right way. I think he might have political ambitions, so we'll see.
I vote for that sucker. James, would you vote for that dude?
I vote for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he will never make it though, because anybody who's gonna tell it like it is, and is gonna, you need somebody in the White House that's gonna tell you, man, sit your ass down, Pelosi, sit your ass down and get to work. But nobody's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that person in there. So, but I will vote for him.
He's like a brown Bernie, basically, younger.
Yeah.
How much you guys want to bet? I got a what we can't bet. Never mind. But I bet you this. Watch some dirt come out on this dude within the next 4 months.
Oh yeah, people are pissed off at him.
That's the dirt. They're gonna try to find something. James, you know how this goes. Yeah. I'm it's gonna work. But that's their next plan of attack. They're gonna treat him like a black man now.
They might as well go after Elon Musk too, because Elon Musk said it too.
Oh, Musk said it. Elon Musk said it too. They're gonna mess with him too.
Yeah, they always mess with him.
Speaking of, guys, let's switch up topics real quick. That's a good transition, James. Now I forgot to bring this up in the Daniel, did you want to say one more thing? You look like you about to say something right now.
I'm trying to figure. I'm paying attention to what you're saying.
Okay, my bad. So Elon Musk has the first citizen. He's not sponsoring, but he's the one in charge of the rocket or whatever. So the first citizen is flying to outer space. I just saw it on the news.
There's 3 of them.
It's a 37-year-old billionaire. So he got his money. I was so mad. I forgot the dude's name. Yo, he got his money from designing some software with the restaurants that make things more compatible with something like James. I was like, are you serious? Did this fool really make it so the menu you click on the computer is easier? I don't know exactly what he did, but it was something like that where it's like, mother sucker. Anyway, 37 billionaire. He's going. He put up 100 million of his own money, and somebody's supposed to match that in contributions, and they're gonna donate all the money to a specific hospital for cancer research and whatnot. But they're just gonna orbit around the Earth, come back. It was he and Elon Musk on the news, and the reporter asked Musk about the whole Reddit thing. He was like, I just want to focus on whatchamacallit today. So it is what it is. But I don't know, guys. You guys chime in. What do you guys think about that? Just going out in outer space for the heck of it, flying around the Earth, coming back. I don't know.
So is he allowed to just shoot a rocket? Like you could just have your own business and just shoot rockets in the sky?
If you're a billionaire, you can do whatever. So Elon Musk is designing it, and he's just paying for it.
He's got contracts with DOD too, so he's got.
Okay. Because I was about to say.
You seen this story, Rishi?
Yeah, he's got contracts.
So this guy Isaacman, he's the 30. Basically, they're gonna have a Super Bowl commercial on Sunday night about this. That's how big this is. And when you get to that level of money, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I guess it would be fun to go to outer space for 200 million. I have no idea what the price is, but
and he is a pilot. He is like a world record setting pilot.
I don't think this is going to go out of favor. I think it's going to be a trend that keeps going up. And as the economics of doing that increase, or the efficiency increases, maybe we'll be in that economic space to do that. Who knows? Within like 10 years, 5 years. I'll go, man. I want to go to outer space.
Did they say how much it costs to go out of space, or?
No,
go ahead.
It's like back in the day, it used to cost like $5,000 for an 8-track. And now they're non-existent. You can actually get paid for buying one. But
go ahead. Go ahead.
The cost is gonna decrease. I mean, I'd go at the right price.
Hell no. I ain't getting my ass in that damn cockpit with none of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan, man. I'm a big Star Trek dude.
See, Rishi, we've seen enough of these scary movies. The brother dies first. Watch.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at what was I looking at? I was looking at there's that girl who played in Twilight. They was in the water.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yes. That's
the one about the one where she fell in love with the fish. The fish.
No.
Oh.
It's where they're like in the bottom of the ocean, and like they're trying to get somewhere. And they're trying to get, but they're like sea monsters in there. The black dude died first in that movie. I was so mad. And I looked at Brittany. I was like, I bet you the black dude died first. I was like, he done.
Is this a recent movie or
The Abyss? The Abyss is a movie.
Yeah, The Abyss is the one I was thinking of, Rishi, but I don't think that's the one he's talking about.
No. I think it's underwater. It got Kristen Stewart in it. Yeah, that's her name. It had Kristen Stewart in it.
Okay, that's more recent. The Abyss was from like 1988.
Oh.
I'll have to look that up. I haven't seen it.
Oh. Nah.
I'm not going out. And I'm kind of mad, man. Why are you wasting $100 million? See, this is the thing that ticks me off. He said, we're doing this for cancer research. Then why don't you
donate the money to cancer research?
Yeah, or
he wants to
find all these families who with people who have cancer, but they don't have necessarily the means to deal with everything that comes along with it. Why don't you hit them up with a lick? $100 million?
Here's why.
That means you can give 100,000 families $100,000. Isn't that the math?
But here's why I brought up the Super Bowl ad.
Close enough, Daniel. Close enough. Stop counting your head. Go ahead.
The Super Bowl ad is going to give more eyeballs to this charity that he's talking about. Because I'm talking about this guy has a Super Bowl ad. This guy that you're talking about. He also always wants to go to space, man, and he wants to he wants to give.
So then go to space and stop using cancer as an excuse for you to go to space. I'm not feeling that, to be honest with you.
So if he didn't use cancer as an excuse, he would be more vilified.
What do you mean?
No,
if he wants to go
I'm
to
rich
space,
as hell. I'm going to outer space. That's what I'm looking.
Then why not? I mean, why is it adding? Okay, all this money I'm gonna give to cancer. Why is that a bad thing? Why is it not a good thing?
I'm never for displaying your charity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just do it.
What if it's displaying it on the Super Bowl and it's only the charity that gets it?
Because for one, 100% of the money never goes to the people who need it.
And tax write-off.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's a tax write-off for him. So he's
I
been
guess they're taking a loss for that now.
yeah. To me, go to the people who need it. You know what I'm saying? Go to the hospital and say, hey, I want everybody's billing here that's in here for cancer. I want to cover it. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then here's some money from research.
Like those people, what those people do at Walmart, they be paying off all, you know how they pay off people layaways?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even say their name. They just pay it and then just go on about their day.
So okay, so Rishi, that's my thing. Yeah, it's okay. It's cool that you're doing that. But to me, it's kind of like a throwaway charity thing. Like you're using it as a valid or trying to make it a valid excuse for you to do your white boy thing.
I mean, maybe that's what it is. I mean, that's probably what it is. But it's like, I'll take.
But see, okay, then don't do that, man. Just be real. Just be real and say I'm going to outer space, and I realize I'm wasting a lot of money. But you know what? The money I'm wasting on this outer space mission, I'm going to match it and donate to charity of cancer. He didn't necessarily put it out like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way he should have said it. And he should
have just been real about it. Yo, I feel actually kind of bad about spending this 100 mil on this. So I'm going to match that 100 mil with that just out of my guilt. Hey, that's real. That's real. I can accept that.
That's I agree. You should be his PR guy because he needs someone to tell him.
He don't pay enough. He don't pay a teacher salary. Anyway, moving on. We're talking about this. Speaking of crazy people, or not, he wasn't crazy. This motherfucker right here, Daniel, go ahead and tell us about this green woman. I've been trying to avoid this story all week.
Talking about batshit crazy lady. Oh, so let's say, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene is I want to say she's a representative of the House who's newly elected. So she has been saying some crazy stuff. Oh, she's been doing crazy things too. So, you know, she's a QAnon supporter. She's a QAnon believer. You know, she's also tried, you know, how we have Muslim members of Congress. She tried to make them swear on the Bible.
Oh, yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah. She tried to say school shootings are like a red flag or something like that. She doesn't believe in the school shootings that happen. And then
Sandy Hook and yeah.
She had like old posts talking about how they're supposed to execute Nancy Pelosi, hang Obama, hang Hillary, all that stuff. And
now time out. Watch this. This is very simple. I wrote this down before because we saved it for the pod. Very simple, folks. Who is she trying to sound? Who does she sound like with all this crazy stuff she's saying?
Oh, she's trying to pull a second Trump.
Thank you. That's all she's trying to do is replace the Trump energy. That's what
But I think that's who she is, though. I think that's literally who she is.
See, there you go, falling for the dumps. No, don't fall for that mess. She's smart enough to realize, okay, I'm here now. He's gone. I can fill a void. You got all these people love this Trump guy. They love all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They love this. They love that. I'm gonna just slide right in here and replace his energy.
But you're right though. She is kind of like one of the people being talked about a lot now. So she's trying to put publicity. Yeah, she's putting publicity on herself. So
y'all stop falling for that dumb stuff. That's why I watch that woman, because I know what you're trying to do. I'm not falling for that mess. Y'all go ahead.
I was gonna say she made I guess her and Cori Bush got into it, so Cori Bush had to like move her office away from her. And I was
yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if you think about the fact that you have people that were in Capitol Hill some of them wanted to actually do some damage, physical damage. And if you know that was being incited by someone that sits next to you, like how do you even go to work the next day? Like,
yeah, it's a hostile work environment there.
Nice to meet you. You tried to kill me yesterday, but we'll see what happens today. What do you do? How do you do it? Because that lady is nuts.
Mm, mm.
And I think she's being figured out. And I don't think she's going to survive because she's a QAnon person. She's trying to say she's not now.
She killed a person, and she think like Jewish people have a space laser and they
Yeah.
setting forces on fire.
Yeah.
Uh,
All the California forest fires are because of Jewish lasers.
yes.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
Go ahead, James.
So what do they say every year? The election starts at the inauguration. The next election starts at the inauguration. So I agree with what everybody's saying. And I was going to say what Ken said, but I'm gonna go a little further, right? So here's what this is boiling up to, right? You got Trump's daughter, who said that she has aspirations of being the first female president.
So she's gonna primary Rubio.
Yeah, right. Now you got this chick who is basically running neck and neck with the Trump supporters, right? So your ticket to the next Republican Party is going to be Donald Trump's daughter as president and this chick is vice president. And you're going to have your first female, what do you call it?
President and vice president.
Vice president and president. I don't know why, and this is just me thinking, that when we hear people talk like this in the levels of government that I've worked at, you got to go get a mental eval, right?
Yes.
You're not about to hold that leadership position, right? Even if it's a whisper that you said something racial, sexist, out of the ordinary, your ass is gone, right? Until we can figure out the investigation, right? Whether it was true or not. I don't understand how she could sit in a seat where she votes for laws and policies, right? This chick don't like Jews, African Americans, don't like nobody that is not white America, right? Why is she allowed to make decisions for all of those people? You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying these people are playing for a fool.
Wait a second. Wait.
I guarantee you, if that was, any black politician said that stuff, they'd be going already. You have petitions for them to get out of that seat right now. They be trying to vote to get rid of that senator, that congressman today.
Mm-hmm.
But she can walk around and say it freely. I think it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That chick should not even be able to go. She should be fired.
Yeah, I agree. But so are we on the same page? Are you saying that they're allowing her to be super right wing so that Ivanka and Don Jr. can become?
No, just Ivanka. She would be, so basically it would be like, yeah, you would have Trump's daughter and then you would have QAnon lady. And they think that right there will help them win.
Yeah, because the other lady's nuts. And Ivanka is like, she's sort of attractive to some people.
But hey, what you call it? You're going to reap what you sow. If you're complicit, you might as well do the crime.
Mm. So, speaking of Trump, lawyers are quitting on him. Impeachment trial is coming up. Me, myself, and I only have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 words to say, and you guys can take over. I'm done with Trump. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I'm done talking about him. He's the past.
I don't know. He'll never be the past because he's always going to keep coming up no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So.
But in my mind, I'm blocking them.
Yeah. It's important that they impeach him. I don't think people understand. You don't stop this dude from running again. He's going
to. This will be. They'll have entire classes about this in law school, in any political science class.
Mm-hmm. This would be a great learning experience.
Yeah.
They don't do it, it's their fault. They shoot themselves in the foot.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that was nice and quick about that. Moving on to a different topic before we dive deep into sports. there was some social commentary going on this week, old school against new school. As actually, you know what? Before we get into sports, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. I want to first get into entertainment because there was a movie that came out, speaking of political climate and all that stuff, called American Skin. And the group chat was just lighting up on Saturday. You gotta see this movie. You gotta see it. Or Sunday. You gotta see this movie. You gotta see this movie. It's fire. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Checking it out. James, what'd you think about the movie first? James give it 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna give it this. I'm gonna give thumbs up, thumbs down. So I think James and I will agree. The very beginning of the movie, the premise, the way they set it up, I loved all of that. They gave a good background of the situation that happened leading up to the shooting of the son. A spoiler alert, we are going to dive a little bit into it. So they gave a nice solid background about the situation with how the son got shot. They did an excellent job of showing our main character Link and his emotion, like how he's taking it in, how he's moving on with his life. There's a kid director there from a college who wants to do a documentary. So they're like filming what's going on with his trial and things of that nature. And it's all leading up lovely. I'm loving this movie. I'm like, this is what's up. And then we get to that part that everybody was waiting for, where they take over the City Hall, I guess is what it was. Now, first of all, James, does the police commissioner live in City Hall?
It just depends on what.
I mean, does it?
I've seen it. I've seen it before.
Okay, I haven't seen that before, so I was confused about that. That's not my gripe, though. My gripe is, okay, in the middle of this movie, you got a giant TED talk about race as these cops and these convicts and these people who are held hostage are participating in this quote unquote trial. And it was just everything was just, it didn't seem forced. Here was my problem with it, James. It was just too much low hanging fruit. They were just saying too much of the obvious stuff. And to me, I enjoy movies more like Ma Rainey. The reason why I like Ma Rainey so much was that they drove home a point, but they drove home a lot of stuff, but nothing was really, they didn't always hit the nail on the head in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you understood where Ma Rainey came from throughout the course of the movie. So you're kind of, it's not just black and white, boom, and we're having these conversations and blah, blah, blah. It's like a little dance that's going on where, okay, and that's what keeps you compelled with the movie. And that was my problem, James. Like at that point where they're being held hostage and they're having this trial, everything is just given up. I'm the Latino cop, so I feel this way. And I'm the white cop, so I feel the stereotypical way. And I'm the other white cop, so I feel the stereotypical way. And I'm the black Muslim convict, so I'm going to say the stereotypical black Muslim comment thing. And then I'm the real nigga in the streets convict. I'm going to say the real nigga in the streets stuff. Like, it was just too stereotypical of everything they try to mush together. And I was hoping for more of a Ma Rainey effect where you can have these conversations without having them. You know what I'm saying? So that was my gripe with the movie. At that point, I was like, and then the end, I'm not going to get too deep into the end, but it's like, okay, bro, what did you really accomplish? Like, I don't like that. I don't like this whole, I'm going to risk my life and limb and everything. I've already lost everything with my son, and I'm going to risk everything else only to go in there and just so the white cop can cry. And now I feel, and he gets to talk to his kids, and now he understands how I feel. Man, F all that, man. I'm not saying you had to blast the dude. I'm not saying any of that, but come on. Nobody got smacked up. One cop got messed up over, but it wasn't because of our main character. That was the convict that escaped real quick. But I don't know. What do you think, James? I've said enough.
Okay, so I think your expectations was for it to be a little bit more raw than what it was. I loved it in the aspect of the part you're talking about when they was talking back and forth. I loved it because I was expecting the ending to be what the ending was. I called that out. I said from the very beginning, I told my wife that's what's going to happen at the end. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody who hasn't seen it, right? But that conversation going back and forth, the reason why I liked it was because the conversation was forced upon the oppressor, right? And it made the oppressor spit out what he was really doing, right? And when he said that, just like you said, what was the point of it? But the guy asked that question to Links. Said, "Hey man, what's the point of all this?" You know, he says it was for the world to see. What people don't understand about the movie is he was already dead inside. He was dead. He just didn't want to die without his son being recognized, without justice for his son. You see what I'm
He
saying?
mentioned that. He did mention that yeah.
And so that's why I felt it was so impactful, is because, for one, they're not going to market this movie to a point where white America is going to watch it. White America is not going to watch this movie at all. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only part I feel like, he's wasting his time creating these movies because only the black community is going to do it. You see what I'm saying? But it's beneficial to the black community because they're saying they understand now that we're not going to get justice. That's what the end part was to me. You're not going to get justice. They can murder us all day, and we're not going to see justice. You see what I'm saying? If you look at it from when if a white kid was running away, he would just tackle the white kid and, hey, come on, buddy. Don't do that. Work with me. You know what I'm saying? He just it's a trigger happy moment, and it needed to be displayed. You needed to feel his anger. I thought he did a great job displaying his anger and his pain. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was focused on. I said, if people do watch this, I want you to see what this father is feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because he got profiled. He died. His son died because they got profiled. You know what I mean? And it just goes to show you what they're able to do and get away with without even having legal, um,
Repercussions.
yeah, repercussions for what they do. You know what I'm saying? Without cause, without any justification, you just killed this kid and you got away with it.
Everything you just said is why, because it was the first of the last things that you said. You said the movie was made for who?
It's for us. It's for the world to see,
but primarily we're the ones you're thinking of when you're making this movie. We're going to be the ones to go see it, right?
yeah.
So that being the case, everything you just said, the majority of black people, we already know all that. So that was my thing. Take it a step further. Like, I think he didn't make this movie for black people the way they had that TED talk in the middle. I think
You're right, but it won't. This is my thing. I wanted to go a whole lot deeper, a whole lot darker, right? It'll never made it
Because he was a vet too, right? He was a vet.
He was a vet. He was a vet, and they did a great job of articulating. Because the kid in the movie who's doing the documentary, he's talking to Ghost from Power, and because he asks Link, the main character, about the war, and he kind of glosses over it like a broad one-word answer, and he asked the dude from Power about it, and he's like, "War is war. Like, I'm not going to talk about that. Like, what the hell is war? You get back." And so I thought the way they approached that whole military side to me was done very well. And I wish they would have had the opportunity not to show off the guerrilla warfare tactics, and not even to show off a warlike mindset. But it's like, dude, what? Go ahead and go the Freddie Gibbs and Rick Ross music video route. I don't want to come on here and say,
yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
y'all go watch that video.
We all wanted to see it happen.
Yeah, but see, it wasn't even about
But it wouldn't
killing the dude or
make
hurting the dude. But to me, you're just sitting up here trying to. That's what pissed me off, man. Because I get tired of us trying to convince a lot of the majority class or the majority race in this country, like it's unfair, and don't you understand that you were doing like, I'm me personally, I'm tired of wasting my breath on these fools with this stuff that you already know. Y'all know how this country operates. Let's be up. You know what happens to us. You don't mind that happening because in the long run, we are the dogs. You are the parasites. That's why we are the ones in prison. That's why you use our music that's all around the world. We're the talent. That's why we're in the basketball games. That's why a lot of these inventions that come from America were invented by Black people, but they couldn't get the patent. So what I'm saying is, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of having these movies where we're trying
I think
opposite race that, hey, man, just come on, be fair, man. Forget all that.
No, I think this is a great example. Like I said before, I don't think it makes it anywhere if he gets any darker. Now maybe he could have did it what we wanted him to do and just went black after that, and the movie ended there. You see what I'm saying? But I think it also leads into a greater conversation that is happening in Black America. Something I talked about from the very beginning, where now you've seen a whole lot of people coming out, saying, "Hey, let's just pull away. Let's just pull away. We're not going to get fair justice." You know what I'm saying? I was listening even to a pastor today, a Black pastor today. He was talking about, hey, this is where we're going from here on out. We're not going to deal with them anymore. They're not going to be fair. You know what I'm saying? After that Capitol Hill incident and all those people got released, you start to see a whole lot more people saying, look, this is this. Let's just let them have this country. We're going to do our own thing. We're not going to bother them no more. And I think this movie can generate that energy some more by saying, look, this is exactly the reason why we're going to leave you alone, because we're not going to get fair justice with you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that helps build this up, and maybe we can start moving in that direction where we all just buying Black owned. We all just doing our own thing, and we all just leaving them alone. You know what I'm saying?
One lesson that I did like out of this movie was the fact that he articulated, I took my son out of a public school because I thought I was doing the right thing for him, and had him going to the private school. But that ended up being the reason basically why he got shot, because they had to travel from his neighborhood to the private school, like picking him up from his friend's house or something on the way home. That's when they got pulled or whatever. And he's like, oh, it's ironic that had I not done that, then this whole thing probably wouldn't have happened. Yeah, he could have got clapped at his own school or gotten fights and stuff like that. And I think about the fact, James, that there was a year when we were in high school, and I don't regret it because it was based upon the friendships that I had. So I don't regret the decision, but in hindsight, I would have much rather for us, you, me, Richie, Micah, Brandon, Keith, all these dudes we grew up with, that we had gone to Hillside, straight up, because I didn't realize the power of going to a majority Black school until I went to this school. All right. So the whole time I'm in Jordan, and for those of you, I'll put it out there, I didn't graduate when my brothers graduated, because senior year in high school, I had to pass this English class. I didn't care about school that much in high school, but Mr. Sherman was my English professor, and he's like, it's up to me whether or not you graduate. Okay, motherfucker, whatever. All right, what you want to do? Okay, pass this exam, or you got to do well in this exam. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. He wanted me to study with this dude, I'm not gonna mention his name, that was on the tennis team. I was on the tennis team as well, but this dude was a punk. He was a lame, not a lame as in not cool, but a lame as in undercover racist kind of dude that I've seen somebody handle before. So I'm dang sure not going to you to get tutoring. That's just not gonna happen. So what I did was I studied on my own, doing that well that whole year. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do what I can. And I got like a 78, 79, something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, he might he might let me slide. If he doesn't, it is what it is. I didn't walk around mad that night, but in my heart of hearts, I'm like, see, later on in life, I'm like, see, that's that BS for going to that all majority, for going to Jordan. If I would have been in Hillside, number one, I would have cared more because these black teachers more than likely would have known how to push my buttons better. Because I'm that way now. I know how to push certain brothers' buttons. Sherman didn't know how to press my buttons. And a lot of those teachers at that school, I'm not blaming them because I didn't complain about it. I was with James that night. That mess was cold too. Let me tell you something, y'all. It was cold-blooded. We walked up to project graduation. It's me, James, and Mike out. Walk up to the door. They're like, "Where's your wristband?"
What?
Yeah, project graduation.
I remember that, man. I remember that night.
James remembers. It was cold-blooded. But you know what? Rishi, it was what it was. I turned around, and it was somebody at the door who probably knew my face, like for real. Like, obviously, I go to the school, but they were like, I didn't cry. I didn't fuss. I just turned around. It is what it is. But I took that lesson to heart, like, okay, so that tells me that I can't expect any kind of help from the other side. Not a little push, not a nudge, not a something, because I know darn well if that had been the right, if I had gone to Hillside, same situation that happens, they're going to be like, all right, man, all right, I can tell at least you studied. Let me go ahead. All right, bro, let me go in and get you right. So it is what it is.
Project, I forgot about that. I didn't go either. It was like,
You should have went to project graduation. I'm sure it was hype. Was it good, James?
No, she was good as fuck.
It was lame? They ain't right. It was because I wasn't. That's why.
But I'll tell you a story too, man, about that, right? About Hillside, man, because I don't know if you guys remember Coach Blunt, right? But he's a historical track
coach.
Yep, and I ran track when I was in Jordan, right? And it was recruiting me to go to Hillside, right? And Coach Gray at the time was my cross country and track coach, right? I specifically worked with him. And I remember him coming to me one time and he was talking to me and my mom. And he told my mom, he said, "Look, I will protect this kid with all my life."
But
he says, "Look at this lineup right here." And he told me to look at him. And I know you remember Lamont, the guy that used to run back and forth all the time with each other. He says, "This is an all-black team that if you come on, we can win state championship." You know what I'm saying? And it was because of you guys I stayed at Jordan.
I know that's it. We all had the same.
in my mind, I thought the Durham Striders was your way.
Yeah, during the summer. I ran with them. During the summer, it was just me and maybe the other, the other tall lights and Skinner.
Yeah.
Quan with the UNC. Yeah. Shout out to Quan.
He ran with the in the summer.
By the way, genius.
Huh?
Quan,
but I think about it all the time, man. Like, man, did I miss an opportunity to be an all-black cross-country team that ran North Carolina in the 90s? You know what I'm saying? Because I was the only thing stopping them from being that. Like, I was the kid at Jordan that broke up their dynasty.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? And I was competitive, so I would win. But it also made me think, like, damn.
After the fact, you're like, dang, I was running for the wrong squad. I was running for the enemy.
And even in high school, man, I couldn't enjoy it that much because these brothers needed me, and I didn't go. You know what I'm saying? And we would have won it, man. We would have just swept through everybody, man. But, in hindsight, it's this, when you're young, you don't think about it like that. But if I ever get my son in that situation, nah, man, you going with your brothers, man. You're going to go. You know what I'm saying? So.
Rishi, words cannot explain how. And you know what? Let me change that, though. Because I was probably at a different point in life when I went to this wonderful school, to be honest with you. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Life is real. You know what I'm saying? Life is real. Got the house. There's no more playing around. It was all business. And maybe that my approach of being all business, maybe that would have lent me some more leeway when I was going to Jordan and whatnot. But I don't know. I just remember the professors at this college being so appreciative of me being a real one who was like obviously older than everybody else, but got the respect of all my younger peers, and I'm guiding them with my example of just handling my business, but at the same time bringing my own swag to it and all that stuff, and just the appreciation that they show. Like professors would holler at me after class, like sorry, no majority of the teachers I had at these schools I talked about before, no one ever wanted to speak to me after class because of something that I did that influenced someone else to go about their business the right way, especially if I'm influencing other Black people. That was just like, now if I go and help Billy with whatever, then you're just a good guy. But if I'm leading Daniel down the right path, just being who I am and my swag and blah blah blah, they would really take the time to be like, yo man, you keep doing what you're doing, man. We're watching you. We see what you're doing. You're appreciated. You're real. You're gonna be our words. And it's like it just gives you that juice. And it's like, okay, I messed up. Dang, I should have went to Hillside. I messed up. But we'll let that go. Like we said, hindsight's 2020.
Hey, Chris Paul was there this week.
Yeah, because of what I sent you on the phone. I just sent you guys a picture. ESPN is doing one of like a little mini doc on this school and their wonderful coach, Coach Milton. So y'all check that out when it comes out. I will look at it right now to see if I can tell you, because I just put it in the chat. So they're doing a whole thing about, excuse me, The Undefeated presents Why Not Us? North Carolina Central University basketball, a new all-access docu-series, executive produced by NBA All-Star CP3 and Stephen A. Smith, premiering Friday, February 12th.
Oh, did he go to Fayetteville, Stephen A. Smith?
He went to Winston-Salem State.
Yep.
And he says some of the same things that I just said. I think he did an interview on All the Smoke where he talked about going to Winston-Salem State and just like the Black college vibe that just overtook him, just the pride and all this and that. Because, I mean, Rishi, since you're kind of on the outside looking in of this conversation.
You gotta look at Shannon Sharp's one too, man, when he talks about his experience.
There's so much negativity that involves being Black in this country. By proxy, just because if you are consciously enough and aware, you can't see a little girl getting beat in the backseat of a car and pepper sprayed at 9 years old, and that's not going, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All these things kind of just put a dark cloud over you, even on the sunniest of days. Things happen and you feel that for your brother or your sister. So when you're in an environment where it's Black people lifting each other up, and, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I personally think HBCUs are about to explode. Just because everything is like another perfect storm. They're gonna have the funding, and people are gonna start sort of getting woke again, and they'll figure it out. And I think they'll have a renaissance. And not just the Morehouses and I'm talking about like all the HBCUs. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you,
Curtis State,
they going to HBCUs. Now VA money that's paying for their school, it's gonna go to the HBCU. So
these are all very good ones out here. So this leads into the sports conversation. Before we get deep into sports, so Dan, you can stay for this one. So this is between the old school and the new school. Now, I've already written down something I think is very important to this conversation, but I just finished talking probably for the last 10 minutes. So I want y'all to start off with this first. The situation is Donovan Mitchell, who plays for the Utah Jazz, just finished playing the basketball game. His team won. He's doing a post-game interview, and Shaq asked him, did you hear what I said about you? He's like, no, what's up? I said that you're great, but you'll never lead a team to a championship. And Donovan Mitchell's like, okay, I mean, people have said that about me before, so I'm just going to, keep it moving. So James, before I say what I got to say, I'm going to wrap this one up. You get into what KD and LeBron had to say about it, and you can give your opinion as well.
All right. So KD, and LeBron's response was basically KD said, man, why are you hating on these new brothers, man? Let them just play ball. You know what I mean? LeBron was like, there's a thing called corrective criticism and soft hate. You know what I mean? And there's a thin line between it, and you need to just, live your dreams, but live your path. Let us do our thing. And here's my take on it, right? For one, I'm kind of 50-50, right? Me growing up playing sports, right? And just in the nature of it, even before I was getting ready to go to college, right? The older kids, the older coaches, the people who had won stuff before, man, they never held any bars with me, right? Like, yo, man, that was a fucked ass race you ran. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you stunk it up, man. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, I'll get better. You know what I'm saying? So for my aspect, I understand what Shaq is doing. He's trying to push these dudes to be better. You see what I'm saying? But here's my thing. And this has always been me from the MO, because it was always done to me this way. Even though those dudes talk to me that way, it was always come here. Dang
it, you stole my thunder, James.
My bad. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. It was, and I always say this, right? The reason why they did that was because, again, we went to Jordan, and my cross country team I was probably the only black person on there. I was the only black person on there, right? They never criticized me in front of white people. Never. You see what I'm saying? And they would come back, and they would come see me race, and they'll, these older people we recruit, and they'll always come. And I remember I was getting recruited heavily by Shaw University and St. Augustine's. And I remember the coach from both of them came up to me afterwards and said, man, you ran an excellent race, but I got 10 things that's wrong with your form. I got this wrong with you, this and that. And I remember my coach was there, but they wouldn't say it in front of him. He said, that's just for you, man, food for thought. You see what I'm saying?
You were the best guy on the team, man.
Yeah. And I remember a guy from what's that school called? Appalachian State University. Came visit me. Oh, you're great. We want to give you this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember, like, so how did I look? How did I run? Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get you straight once you get there. You know what I'm saying? So
you never want to give up that game, huh?
Yeah. So to me, when I hear Shaq saying what he's saying, I love it. You know what I mean? Because what's going to happen for Donovan Mitchell is every time he goes to practice, he's going to hear Shaq's voice, right? Every time I went to practice from that day forward, that St. Augustine and that Shaw coach was in the back of my head. You know what I mean? They gave me something for free. Like you said, they took care of a young black brother who had talent. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to see it go to waste. I remember telling me, man, you're a year behind on running like this. You should have been here last year. You should have been around this speed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, okay, got it. And I'm looking at my coach like, are you training me right? You know what I'm saying? But it just puts those questions in your head. But when you go back and do your research, you're like, damn, I should be here by now. I should have been.
Was it Coach Weekman?
Yeah.
I thought the Striders was
man for a reason.
I thought the Striders was your check.
But the Striders we was winning the Junior Olympics because the summertime. Practicing 5 days a week with Jordan and practicing 3 days a week with the Striders was like night and day. You know what I'm saying? I would throw up in the Strider practice, and I would leave Jordan practice like, all right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you staying on topic. I understand KD and LeBron's perspective, but I always said this. I think KD and LeBron are some sensitive brothers. You see what I'm saying? I just do. And for me, I would have been like, yo, Shaq, man, yeah, come to this track and talk to us, man. Let us know what we're doing. But we appreciate it, man. We're working our butt off. But again, let's not have that conversation in front of everybody. You know what I mean? And to Shaq, man, it took Jordan 7 years to get a damn ring, man. You know what I'm saying? Donovan is growing. He's learning. The dude had a year that was in a pandemic. You got to give these brothers the same opportunity you had because you didn't win until you got with Kobe. You know what I mean? So you, as big as dominant as you wasn't out there winning championships. Yeah, you knocked off Jordan that 1 year, but he just came off playing baseball, and then they busted your ass the following year. So, again, you know what I mean. That's just my take on it. I'll let it go.
What do you want to say, Daniel?
I mean, I just feel like, I think there's just sort of a little thing where I guess Shaq said something. I guess he wants old boy to prove him wrong. And that's all it is. It's like motivation. I'm gonna call you out in front of everybody, call my bluff, like prove me wrong. That way, that you yeah.
And okay, so Daniel just made me think of it a little bit differently, because I was gonna just say what James said, and what I was gonna mention as far as education and being a teacher. I always advise young teachers who don't have kids because they don't understand this. I always tell them, don't call people out, call them over, just like James said. Especially when you come to me and saying, Mr. Nicholson, in all honesty, how can I have a better relationship with my black male boys, and I feel like I say the wrong thing and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, how did you say it? Well, I said it nicely. No, but did you say it from your desk across the room? Yes. Okay. So next time we're in a meeting, a staff meeting, I'm gonna sit across the room from you. And the moment you cross your leg wrong or put the pencil down wrong or whatever you do wrong, I'm gonna speak across the room to you. Hey, such and such, you need to do such and such and such. And they all go like this. Oh, I'm like, yeah. We don't see, and a lot of adults make this mistake. It's not just a white thing. It's not a black thing. It's an adult thing. You get to an age where you forget that just because I'm an adult now and that's a child, we're still operating under the same social dynamics. Nobody wants to be called out, especially children or super famous athletes who are not calling them children, but dog, you're on national TV, Shaq. So originally I was going to say, like I said, exactly what James said. You should have had that conversation on the phone with the brother, or have it with him after the game, whatever, say it to him man to man like that. And okay, now I'm kind of caught in between, because in one light, what James said, as far as those dudes, those coaches from St. Aug and Shaw pulled you to the side. No one else knew what they said, but you never forgot, right? That became some intrinsic motivation, right? So I'm thinking the same thing could have happened with Shaq. Like, you could have called this dude out on the low, and only you and he had to know about it, but he's going to take this and he's going to have this in his head. But to Daniel's point, maybe he said this to him before, behind closed doors. And he's like, because truth be told, if we are analyzing, and I think either Charles Barkley or Kenny Smith said this, if we are analyzing this dude's game, he does drastically need to improve. It was Chuck. It was Charles Barkley. He said this dude in 2 years, and this is a great stat, he's had one game where he got more than 10 rebounds, and one game where he had more than 10 assists in 2 years. That's kind of crazy. So when they're saying you need to improve if you want to lead this team to the championship, here's what Shaq should have said. If you're going to call him out in public, hey, man, your team is doing great. You seem to be scoring at will. But Chuck made a point earlier, man. What about these rebounds? What about these assists? Like, what about those things? And, maybe he says, that's not my job. Rudy Gobert is getting the rebounds. Mike Conley's getting the assists. Then Shaq can come back and say, yeah, I understand that, but you are the man on this team. Because that's essentially what he was trying to get to.
Yeah, I think Shaq could have used a different form, but I'll say this. I personally think that he had no ill intentions.
No, he didn't have any ill intentions.
I don't think it was ill intentions, but I think it was a little bit. I think it was a little ego driven. Like,
there was a place and a time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Shaq Diesel. I say what I want, what I want.
Right.
I'll call you out right here, right now.
Like an NBA inside the NBA in front of like how many million viewers?
Exactly. And that James, and in defense of LeBron, I can't defend KD because KD, Daniel, if you don't know about Kevin Durant, this dude will go on social media using burner accounts and try to find the negative comments and clap back. Like and maybe he uses that as motivation. I don't know, but it seems like
Michael Jordan.
Huh?
He might be the future Michael Jordan, trying to find something to motivate him to play.
Maybe that's what he is, man. But you just go out of your way to find the negative stuff. LeBron is more like, to me, you've been in the spotlight your whole career from before you got in the league. So I can kind of empathize, put myself into your situation, and see how you may be a little bit weary just because you've been in that spotlight so long. It's different for him. Like, I don't think there's any other player who's compared. Not even Jordan's compared. Jordan became Jordan after that shot. No, not even after the shot in college. Jordan became Jordan once he got to the NBA. That's what everybody says. Yeah, he hit that shot in college, and he was a man, but he didn't reach that, that height.
86, 87. Yeah.
Okay, exactly. Think about this, dude. LeBron has been LeBron since he was 17.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed. He has been that guy. So that I think, to me, that's got to make you a little bit not irrational, but you're just perspective on things and how you take things in, and your defense mechanisms. They gotta be at a 10 because you're always on stage. It's got to be the weirdest thing ever.
I think he handled it well on the spot.
Oh, Donovan handled it excellently. He handled it the only way you can handle it. All right. Or you should have said, okay, and then you go back and work on your free throws.
Yeah.
So anything else in basketball, gentlemen? Nah, just same old. Nets ain't gonna win no championship. They don't play enough D. All right, let's just go and they better make a trade.
Take the over on every Nets game this year.
Yeah, the dudes play no D, boy. Good, great. And Harden wasn't even the game. How you let the Wizards score 149 points and there's no overtimes?
God.
149, Daniel. No overtime. That was all in regulation.
That's the 1980s NBA.
Yeah.
They have no shot. So on to the Super Bowl, talk of the town. We not much to talk about. This is a fairly consistent group in terms of these two teams. Daniel, who you got for the Super Bowl? You got to figure who's playing.
I don't know. Tom Brady gonna lose, I guess.
There you go. All right, good shot. Good job. There you go. And you win the prize. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page with you. I think that the Chiefs will win by like 10, 12.
You got a blowout on the way, huh?
Well, so
people got Brady winning though.
yeah, there's one guy put down like 3 million plus 145. I'm like,
I got Chiefs in a close one because that left tackle getting hurt that's gonna hurt them.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Because their backup used to play for the Panthers, Rimmers. He is booty butt cheeks, boy. So Pierre Paul can have no fingers and he's gonna be out there getting sacks for real. Yeah, I got Chiefs by field goal, something like that.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
They can't guard Kelsey and the super fast guy. And
Kelsey and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But you know who's gonna go off this game?
McCole Harbin.
Nope, that's not him. Go ahead and tell him, James, who's gonna go off this game?
Mahomes.
No. Out of the receivers, which receiver is gonna go off this game?
Antonio Brown.
Nope. Why? No, on the Chiefs. On the Chiefs.
It's gonna be the same too.
No, it's not.
You don't think it's gonna be Kelsey and him?
You know who was it last year? It's gonna be the same dude this year. Watch. Who did
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins? Watch. Because you gotta over top with Hill. You got to double team on Kelsey in the middle. So guess who's gonna be free? They're not gonna let Nicole Hartman beat them deep. Sammy Watkins runs great routes, and he's a reliable catcher. Watch all day long, 15 here, 8 there, 20 there. Sammy Watkins will have at least 7 receptions for about 117 yards, and I'll give him 1 touchdown. Okay. But he'll lead the team in receiving yards.
You want to bet on that?
I don't bet. Why do I need to bet? I'm gonna be right, sucker. That's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that. I think the Chiefs are like Mahomes has been saving it for this. They made Tampa Bay look like little kids, like Pop Warner, like a few months ago.
And we shall see. And we got the black coaches got duped again, but that's no surprise. I don't know if there's anything that can fix it. I just know that, the players, I think, are the only really ones that can do something about it, but I don't really know how much they can do. And did we discuss that last week, gentlemen? Because we don't need to dive into that anymore if we already discussed it. Yeah, we did. The reason why is because these owners want someone that they feel comfortable with to hang out with, to go to these dinner parties with, so they can say all the shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it.
Backs. And that's about it. But anyway, people, that's it for this week. Oh, actually, you have anything else you want to add, gentlemen? WandaVision?
I didn't watch it. I'm gonna watch it right after this. And everybody see the little things?
Not yet.
It was good.
Denzel came through again?
Yeah, he did, man.
Mm-hmm.
What is the little things about? I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to watch it tonight.
It's worth watching. But basically, go ahead, Dane.
Basically, it's literally in the title, it's the little things. It's really the little things that matter. Like, I don't.
Okay. That's all you had to say. I see where. Okay.
I mean, basically, the commercial. He's a detective that, is trying to solve a case, and he gets thrown.
A serial killer.
Yeah, another case that kind of blends with his, and he's telling the guy, it's the little things that matter, the little things that get you caught. Mm-hmm. But you won't believe the ending. And I was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Yeah, the whole time I was sitting there trying to figure out who. I'll let you watch.
Yeah, just go ahead and start. You about to say way too much. Obviously, it was him. The way you're saying it, Denzel did it, huh?
No. He didn't do it. It's just that.
Okay, I'm about to say way too much.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
Little kid or something.
It was a good movie, man. Like,
yeah.
Me and my wife were both sitting there like, all right. Pause it. We're gonna get them some lunch. Come on. It was good, man.
What is this Netflix?
It's HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
I don't have HBO Max. Yeah. No, then next time you come over, you know what I'm saying.
Throw a little HBO Max password and you can all watch it.
If you got,
I'm gonna check it out tonight.
If you got Spectrum, you might have it.
A Spectrum?
I think if you got the app, I think so. I think it comes with Spectrum or something like that. So.
No.
Yeah, if you get Spectrum, you get HBO Max with Spectrum.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, HBO Max. All right.
You probably just need to make the account then.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have Spectrum anymore either. Somebody gave boy. Remember somebody gave me the Spectrum app and signed up on my TV for me.
Someone who's my cousin.
You got it. You got it, If you can go on the app, you scroll down to HBO Max. Is it?
Okay, I'll do that.
You
know who I'm talking about.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you hooked the brother up. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, 8:30, right on the dot, we will be ending. Oh yeah, Black History Month, man.
Yep.
Let's do it right. All right. Protect yourselves. You know they're gonna be out here trying to clap for real because they didn't get what they wanted to do a couple of weeks ago. Don't think they forgot. Stay vigilant out here. All right. Stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. All that good stuff, man. Fire Optics. We're out.
Be good, people.